Hey, 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 y'all. Happy Thursday thoughts. Listen, I am in Florida visiting one of my college friends, and I wanted to just come on live and see how y'all doing. We have a brief topic we're going to get into today, but I am so pleased to be here, right? So, we're going to have a time. We're going to get First of all, I want to say, let's start off with what am I thankful for, right? As with every Thursday's thoughts, I start off with what am I thankful for? And I'm telling you, I'm so thankful for friendship. So if you have some friends that you haven't been in touch with, you haven't had a with someone to reach out. Hey, Coach Ash Marie, how you doing? Girl, long time no see, no see. So we are just right now, Florida. And y'all, some people may not like the humid, warm weather. I love it. I love it. So I am visiting and just having a good time being here. For real, for real. And today's topic that I want to talk about is what's stressing you? There's so much going on. So much going on, y'all. There are a lot of people that are going through a lot of things and they're stressed. So, what's something that's stressing you? Put it in the comments. What's something that you're like, you know what? Oh, this is giving me anxiety. And sometimes people don't even realize they're stressed. So, let's talk about how do you even know when you're stressed, right? So, if you're stressed, maybe you're having a hard time sleeping. Maybe it's that you find yourself stiff in the neck. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but when I'm stressed, I can feel it in my neck. I can feel it in my shoulders. So, if you're watching right now, let's just do one exercise here to kind of help with some of the tension that might be up in the neck and shoulders. So the first thing you do is just kind of roll your shoulders forward. Just do the circular motion and kind of up and down. So forward, up to the ears, roll it down. Just stretch it out some. Roll it again. One more time, y'all. Just roll it up, ears and down. Shake it out a little bit. Good time. So I was thinking like when we talk about stress and it's so dangerous because sometimes we live in a state that we are stressed so often that it's becoming our norm. It's becoming our norm where you develop insomnia. You can't sleep at night. Or you might support patients. How many of you may find yourself snapping at people? Your patience is just really short. Things that normally would not bother you, now you're like, oh my goodness, why you breathing so loud? You know what I mean? So those are signs that, something is stressing you. If you find yourself wanting to isolate and be by yourself, and you're normally not a person that's really by yourself, but you find you're withdrawing from some of the activities that you used to do that used to make you smile, and you may even be sleeping a lot. On the one end, you have those who demonstrate I can't get sleep, right? When they're stressed. But on the other hand, you can have those who are really a lot where you're just like, you know what, I'm drained. I just don't have the energy for anything. Like you barely have the energy to go to work. Or how about you're going to work and just at the thought of going to work, you're like, your whole mood is changing. You're agitated, irritated, and whatnot. So let's talk about what's stressing you. For some people, it's finances. For some people, it's, you relationship that's not working out. Maybe you're taking a look and you're like, you know what? This is not where I should be right now. I should be somewhere. My life should look different than this, you know? Because when I think about it, y'all, it is July. The year is already halfway gone. Halfway gone, y'all. And remember back in January, we were talking about those goals. Everybody was setting goals. What you want to do. How do you want to get there? How have we been doing with those goals? So let's continue on. We're talking about stress. What's stressing you? Listen, there are a lot of downsizing going on. The effects of COVID was more than just how it impacted people's health because it was so catastrophic. It made impacts to businesses, right? How many remember how a lot of businesses shut down because the whole world seemed like it shut down? And some of the smaller businesses weren't able to bounce back from that. Some of the larger businesses are now feeling the effects of that. And a lot of companies are downsizing, they're restructuring. And that means layoffs, early retirements, early separation packages. There's just a lot going on, and people are hurting. And the best thing we can do is come up with ways to take care of ourselves, to manage the stress. And it's important that you don't ignore the stress because ignoring stress, it doesn't make it go away. But what it does do is it actually nurtures it and makes it grow, and it begins to manifest itself in ways that can be really impactful to your well being, your concentration. How many of you have been stressed and you find yourself like, I can't concentrate? You can't concentrate on one thing, or it seems like you're not able to complete a task. Or you walk into a room and when you started in the room, you was like, okay, I'm going to go find this. But then when you get to the room you were walking to, you're like, wait a minute, I don't forgot. What was I looking for? Some of that is stress. And as humans, we have to learn how to decompress. And that means taking care of you. So I ask you, are you taking care of yourself? Time trying to save the world if you're first not going to save yourself. Now, what are some ways we can take care of ourselves? Start managing stress. One way is through nutrition. Nutrition. You are what you eat. So be careful of what you eat. Do things in moderation. Don't overdo it on the sweets because that's going to wreak havoc for you. And sometimes you might get that sugar rush, but then there's such a downside to that. When you eat better, your body feels better. It improves your mood. So if you're stressing, check what you're eating. That can be a very helpful tool. Make sure you're getting your vegetables, your fruits. If you eat meat, healthy meat, lean meat, right? Um, Good protein and, your fruits. Now, when we talk about healthy eating as well, be careful because some people will drink a lot of juice, and juice is really heavy in sugar and it doesn't have the fiber. It doesn't have the fiber that we need for our bodies. So, again, we're talking stressing you. Check into what you're eating. Make sure you're feeding yourself good stuff. The next thing, we're talking stress. How can you, some things to help us manage stress? Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. I can tell in my body when I haven't had enough water. I'm very lethargic. My energy is drained. I'm telling you, and it's hard for me to focus. Not only that, when you're dehydrated, it does impact other parts of your body. It really does. It really does. Water is so important. We just don't give water the accolades that it deserves because it's truly life saving. Water helps clear your skin. If you're on a weight loss journey, guess what? It's going to help you in your weight loss journey. Because if we stay as hydrated as we need to, that's going to help curb some of that appetite we have. The next thing we're talking about stress. Notice if you're just, are you noticing that you're really negative? Like when you're in conversations, how much negativity is it that you're dwelling on? That could be stress. When you're always focused on the negativity. Some people watch the news and as soon as they call you on the phone, did you see such and such and such what happened? It's always something negative, always something negative. So when you're feeling stressed, you have to monitor how much negative are you allowing in your personal space, right? How much negativity? That goes to the programs you watch, even the music you listen to. Because when you're watching these programs, and like I like a good detective story, but I had to put down the whole Criminal Minds, that whole series. I had to kind of put that down because that was just too gruesome. I mean, those type of negative energies was affecting my mood. And so I had to kind of put that down. So I'm more of a comedy. I like family movies, things that are uplifting or adventure movies, things like that. But just be careful of what you're feeding yourself. Even music. And people is like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Think about it. When you get ready to work out, most people are listening to some upbeat or some hype music that really gets you going because music does evoke emotion. How many of y'all listen to Luther Vandross? God rest his soul. You can listen to a Luther Vandross song and immediately get a smile on your face. Your heart is warm because you're put in a mood when you listen to that music, right? Or how about some Sade? That smooth, mellow voice of Sade. Or, if you listen to some Alexander, I'm going to take it back, y'all. Some Alexander O'Neal. Oh, I love me some 80s and early 90s music. I really did, really did. But that music can get you pumped. The next thing you know, you're up and you're jamming. And that's also a good way to deal with stress. So sometimes when you're feeling stressed, turn on your favorite song. That song that gets you going, make your blood get the rushing through your veins, put a smile on your face, takes you back to a place and time when you were just feeling happy and carefree. Put that song on and dance. Just dance. Heck, sometimes when I'm doing my workout, y'all, I'll take a little break, a little intermission, and do a little dance just to keep my momentum going. Right? So again, we're talking, you know, how are you managing stress and what's stressing you? Sometimes you can have a lot on your mind. And if you have a good circle of friends, body and talk. Some of you out there are so busy being the strong friend. You're so busy being the one everybody comes to when they need help. But who are you going to? Who are you going to? Make time to really share what you're going through because you matter and what you're going through matters. So find that friend, connect, make sure you're connected. Even when you're feeling stressed out, if you don't have a tribe of friends, find that one friend that you know you have and confide in that person. Sometimes just getting it off your chest, saying, what you're going through, offers some type of relief other than holding it all in. And then getting it and being able to speak the words of what you're experiencing and what you're feeling, it kind of gives you also an opportunity, once it's out in the open, for you to think about it a little more and gain some different perspectives on it. So as you go through stressful time periods, engage with your friends. And then something that I do for immediate relief of stress, y'all, is I'll go get on the treadmill and go for a good run on the treadmill. If you have good weather and you're able to be outside, go for a good run outside. Can't run, maybe you have joint problems, just go for a walk. Go for a walk. And I'm telling you, as soon as you get that workout done, you feel 100% better. I promise you. It lifts your mood, that adrenaline is pumping, and it helps just remove whatever was weighing your shoulders down, that burden you've been carrying. It will give you some relief. It will give you some relief. So incorporating exercise in your regimen, making that part of your maintenance program will help. So Coach Ash Marie says, walk in the track right now. Girl, yes. Yes. And Coach Ash Marie, girl, you've been doing it. I've been seeing you out there looking famous and gorgeous as ever with your pretty self. But that's so true, y'all. You have to do it. And we have to take care of ourselves. So as we go through, I thought, like, okay, this Thursday Thoughts, we're really talking about stress and just giving you some practical tips on what to do with stress, right? So we talked about eating, eat to live. Your body is your temple. Your health is your wealth. That's facts. That's facts. Your health is your wealth. So make sure, you know, you're eating, monitor what you're eating. Give your body what your body needs. Hydrate. Another thing, get sleep. Regular sleep is so good, because when I have trouble sleeping, if I don't get enough sleep, y'all, I'm a little cranky the next day. How many of y'all are a little cranky the next day if you don't get enough sleep? So make sure you're giving yourself sleep. I tell people, you know how when there's a new baby, you have that new baby, you take care of that new baby because you're like, this baby is helpless. I've got to do everything for this baby. Be your own baby. Be your own baby. Take care of you. You know how you loved on that baby and you wanted to keep that baby safe, and you gave that baby the best food, the best formula, making sure you took the baby to the doctor, the baby had all the medical care it needed. You're your baby. So you've got to take care of you. You have to nurture you. But so many times we nurture everybody else because, as women, let's face it, it's in our nature to nurture others, right? But make the time to nurture you. Prioritize you. Because at the end of the day, we're our first priority. We truly are. And oftentimes, it's us that's neglecting ourselves the most. And because we neglect ourselves the most, guess what? In turn, we accept when others neglect us or when others aren't treating us well because we aren't treating ourselves well. So let's do that. Let's love on ourselves. Let's honor ourselves. You know what your values are. Are you aligning to your values? Are you aligning to what you say you value? I know Coach Ash Marie, she's into fitness and living a healthy life, and she's out there, she's putting in the work because I see her out there doing it, putting in the work, inspiring others. Inspiring others because she's putting in the work. She's honoring her values. So, how many of you out there are honoring your values? Because that's another thing that will cause you stress when you are out of alignment with your values. If you have people in your life you're dealing with and they're not aligning to your values, that's going to cause you some stress. It's going to cause you some stress. And what worked for us in our 20s That same thing don't work for you necessarily in your 30s. And when you get to your 40s, guess what? What worked in your 30s is not going to be what worked for you in your 40s. And in your 50s, it's going to get a little different. So you constantly have to be able to adapt. And you adapt by paying attention to yourself, taking care of yourself, and honoring yourself. And y'all, we just don't do enough of that. We don't honor ourselves enough. So I've said, one thing that was on my goal this year was number one, sis got to get her body in order. Meaning, I want to be healthy. No lie. Of course, some vanity is wrapped up in there because I want to look good in my clothes. But I've been dedicating myself to make cardio in and I'm getting my strength training in because I want to be healthy. I want to take care of me, right? And you start off doing things that align to your values. And that will also help reduce stress because some of us is stressed because we not keeping the promises that we made to ourselves and we agitated with our own self. Agitated with our own self because we haven't been keeping the promises and aligning to our values that we've set for ourselves. You know what I mean? So let's do better. Let's think about, how we move forward with taking care of ourselves, paying attention to stress because stress also impacts your health. High blood pressure, stroke, heart attack. You have to watch that. And that's the one thing I'm so excited about. I have really been, since I've been on this journey of keeping my health at the forefront of myself and really trying to focus on that. I've been monitoring my blood pressure because I was on blood pressure. I'm still on blood pressure medicine, but it's going down. Like the medication levels have been decreasing by my doctor. And I'm thankful to God that I will soon be off of my cholesterol medicine and my blood pressure medicine. But it's because I decided to say, you know what? I want to take care of myself. And if I can take care of myself in a way that I can come off that medicine, I don't want to be on that medicine. And it means I've got to do things and make a commitment to myself to take care of myself. So that's what we have to do. Some other things that cause us stress is fear. Sometimes there are things in our lives that God wants us to do. The person that we're meant to be is inside of us. And when we don't move, God will allow things to happen that will give you that push you need to help you to move. But that push is going to feel uncomfortable because it's something that you're fearful of and you don't know if you're ready to do it. How many can relate to that? In the comment, is it something that you want to do and really, and you haven't quite put yourself out there to do it, right? Because you're a little fearful. How many? I've been a little fearful with some stuff. How many? And so sometimes God gonna give you that nudge. He gonna push you on out there, help you fly out the nest, right? And when you do, doors will be open. So some of us have got to get rid of that fear. We have to stop doubting ourselves and stop doubting God. That you can dream of, that you want to have, it's there. The peace, the joy. But don't get caught up in the negativity because it's so easy to complain, y'all. It's so easy to blame others. It's so easy. And it doesn't mean that you don't have challenges. It doesn't mean that, you know, it may be people out there who may be plotting, but God is greater, right? God is greater. So don't always look for the negative. Look for the positive because when you're focused on the positive, then you'll see it, right? Think about it like this. If your eyes are closed, if I close my eyes, I can't see anything, right? When you focus on the negative, you can't see the positive because you can't look in two directions at the same time. So, where are you going to put your energy? Are you going to put your energy in complaining and thinking of all the reasons you can't do something? Or are you going to think of all the reasons you can do it because God has given it to you. And that's why Priority You is here. That's why it's so important because I know the power of believing in yourself and prioritizing yourself. Because every time you decide that you're worthy, you're going to put yourself first, and you believe in you, able to pass in store for you. But if you don't believe in it, it's like you see it because he's given it to you already. But when you don't believe it, you can't see it. It's the story of, what was that? The Wizard of Oz, right? The moral of the story in The Wizard of Oz was everybody was looking for something, right? Dorothy wanted to go home. They said home was in her heart the whole time. She was already there. You had the Scarecrow. You had the Tin Man. You had the Lion. They all was looking for something. And they all had it already. So we also need to know whatever we need, God has already given to us. It was born in us. It was our birthright. We have to believe in ourselves to see it, right? To see it, you have to believe in it. And you can't look for validation from outside. And that's why self-belief, self-awareness, love, care is so important. Because at the point that you yourself so much that when other people may not believe in your vision, right? Because sometimes we look for validation for other people to say, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, yeah, you're going to be good in that. So you got to stand. What they young people say, not y'all, you got to do your own time. And you have to believe in your own dream enough and stay consistent no matter what. Because your path is for you. And no can do you better than you. So don't worry about the noise from the outside world, from people who might doubt your greatness or nobody can deliver the blessing that God has for you but you. So you all stay positive. Monitor your stress because stress is a silent killer. It has killed many of folks. So I ask you, what's stressing you? Make a list tonight. Everything that's stressing you, call it out. Call it out. And then create yourself a self-care plan, something you can keep up with. If you haven't been working out at all, don't try to go gun-ho. Try saying, okay, I'm going to do something for 10 minutes a day. That's it, 10 minutes a day. And if that seems too aggressive for you, start off with 5 minutes and celebrate that. Build healthy habits, become proud of yourself, but start small. Because when you start small and you achieve it, you reinforce that for yourself. So we're going to wrap up this segment, y'all, because in a minute I'm going to go eat because my girl that I'm visiting, she cooks really, really good. And she's been taking real good care of me. So I told her I was going to come out here and do my live with you all. Hey, but Denise, how you doing, girl? And I'm going to get back in there because after I go down to the really wonderful facility here on their property. It's a gated community. It's gorgeous. And the facility have a wonderful workout room. So I think maybe after I eat, maybe I'll go out there and do some strength training. I went out there early and I my cardio did do my cardio in the morning. And what I've learned is they said that don't do your cardio and your weight training in the same session. Do your cardio first. If you're going to do it separate, and then do your weightlifting and your training like separately. That's what I've heard, but I'm gonna keep doing some, investigation on that. Needless to say, I'm doing my weight training this evening. So it's been a pleasure. I want y'all to stay blessed. Diva, you say you want some food, girl. Listen, our girl Stephanie has been cooking. I've been eating good here. Good. So I am going to go in and get me something to eat. And I want you all to have a blessed Thursday. Take care of yourselves, monitor your stress. If people stressing you, boundaries up. That's another thing. Boundaries are there to keep stuff in and to keep stuff out. So the stuff you don't need, you want to keep that out with boundaries. And that means you need to learn the power of no. Protect your peace, protect your joy, protect you. So you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. It's been my pleasure being here. If you haven't already done so, share this post with 3 other people, invite people to tune in and follow, and also click the link in my bio. I have a monthly newsletter, y'all, that's full of gems every month. So sign up so when the August newsletter gets ready to come out, you're at the top of the list. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.